Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to August the 2nd. Welcome to Tuesday. Welcome to another day in this beautiful world, this beautiful journey on this beautiful planet. I am trying to I'm doing this one today from a new location, but I'm not sure I like the lighting in this room, so this may be the last one I do in here. But welcome to Tuesday. Welcome to August the 2nd. Hope you are great. Good morning, whoever that is. Let me get my other one pulled up. Good morning, Anna. How are you? I don't know if anybody else is going to join us at 6:30 this morning, but 6:36, I was pretty close. We're right in between 6:30 and 6:45. But I got to try out the new quiet room downstairs for the first time, so I'm pretty excited about that. It's going to be a pretty cool little meditation space, little prayer space, little quiet space. Good morning, Michelle T. There you are. As you guys are getting going for your second day of school. How was Violet's first day? Was it good? We got people coming in now, so hopefully, y'all, this chandelier thing up here is making me feel like I'm in underwater. Good morning, Carrie. How are you? Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Tuesday. If I could need a snorkel and a mask, like I'm in Shark Week or something. If it would move a little bit and brushing the air. Good. Awesome, awesome, awesome. She's probably gonna be the life of the party in first grade. I'm gonna tell you. She looks like she is Violet Tilson has certainly come into her own. That little lady is gonna walk around as confident as they come. So I'm sure she'll be running first grade here at Madison. Where she's Madison Elementary, I guess. Morgan County Elementary. So super cool, super cool, super cool. Good morning, Alex Martin. Good morning, good morning. Saw your two little handsome fellas at school yesterday, or not in person, but saw them on Facebook. Those pictures, man, they're so cool watching these little kiddos grow up and get bigger, and watching them go into different grades, and watching Riggs. Good morning, Teal and Ryder. Get after it. It's a Riggs and Rhett. Get after it. It's pretty cool. You don't have a Ryder, you have a Riggs and a Rhett. So super, super neat. Y'all saw that we got R2. So Carson, I didn't get to see him off. I got to see him on FaceTime yesterday morning, but we got Kate off to his first day of senior year yesterday. So it's an exciting time. Jagger starts next week. I think Zeke's in school now. So Zeke and Carson started yesterday along with most of y'all's kiddos in Tennessee. I've got them on two different schedules, which is always fantastic. But it is what it is. But again, welcome to the second day of August. Welcome to another fantastic day. I'm getting to watch the not much of a sunset this morning because of the clouds, but I'm in a new spot, so we're gonna give this a run today. And I got some cool things to talk about, y'all. This 5 a.m. Club, this book that I'm reading, this Robin Sharma book that I got turned on to through John Maxwell's book, the Leader's Greatest Return. It's hard to put down, man. This is like that book that Christy gave me when we were on vacation. It's much bigger than the book that she gave me on vacation. The book that was about the furniture store and the guy that made the custom furniture. That book, I don't remember the name of that book. But of course, I sat down and read that one in one sitting, and this book's a lot like that one. It is super intriguing. It's telling a story, but all the things that we've been talking about, all the things that I really impress on you guys and try to talk to you guys about, this book is just full of mind blowing, I guess, things that or points or philosophical positions, and it just tells a story from a lot of different directions. So if you get a chance to read this book, I would go to Amazon. There's a 2-book pack, but the 5 a.m. Club, I think is going to be, when I get through with this one, I think it's going to be a game changer. So I'm super excited about getting in this book after this call and start reading it some more. So hopefully I can knock out a few more chapters. But you saw the title today was Victims Love Entertainment and Victors Love Education. That's actually from that book. Victims Love Entertainment and Victors Love Education. So I want to talk about that just a little bit because I know y'all, my head's itching like crazy. I'm not sure why. In this world where we've been pressed into mediocrity. We've been pressed into trying to be like the Joneses. We've been pressed into trying to achieve something that really is at the end of the day pretty much meaningless. We've been pressed into this thing that we have that you have to achieve these certain tasks and these certain goals and these certain things that more times than not are somebody else's goals or somebody else's dreams. There's somebody else's visions for your life, and so this book really challenges you to think about what it is you're doing that's part of your original desire. What is it that's part of your individual dream? What is it that's part of your individual path? What is the direction you as an individual should be going? And so I encourage you guys to really jump in, get that book, get this book. Um, and again, it's part of what we've been talking about for the last month, about your dreams, about your desire, about finding your authenticity, your authentic voice, your original path, and walking down that thing. So we're gonna talk about that a lot, some today this morning, but I want to. I part of this morning, and as we get going, what are some challenges? I want to see some comments from you guys. What are some of the challenges that you foresee coming over the next 2 days, 2 weeks, 2 months, 4 months? What challenges do you see in your individual business now that the schedule's changed, now that things are sort of shifting from summer mode into school mode? You're shifting out of vacation mode into diligence mode. What challenges do you guys foresee in your business? What challenges do you guys foresee in your personal lives in the next, again, 2 days, 2 months, 2 weeks, 4 months? What do you see? All you guys that are here, Teal and Alex and Michelle and Carrie and Anna, what do you guys see as challenges here in the next little bit? Put them in the comments. Hello, hello. Morning, Bailey. Look at you getting here before 8 o'clock in the morning. I like it. Bailey, I don't know if you heard that, but everybody's kind of thinking about challenges they may be facing individually. Okay. Motivation, challenges, juggling a busier schedule. So challenges that you foresee. And I know, you being a single fella and not having to your schedule doesn't shift much from summer to fall. But we're talking about some of the challenges that people may be facing when they get into the next 2 weeks, 2 months, 4 months to the end of the year. What are some challenges they may be facing moving forward in their business and their personal life and kind of keeping things together? So Teal said motivation and schedule with kids for sure. And Michelle Tilson said juggling a busier schedule. Anna said schedule. Okay. Okay. So obviously part of this, part of the reason for this call, and part of the reason that we started this call back whenever we started this call, was to stay in touch with you guys, was just so for you to see our faces, because we're not always in every single office every single day. And so part of this call was just for Christy and I to get in front of you, and for you to see our faces and us give you a little morning motivation, us giving you a little insight, us shooting you a little something that maybe encourages you throughout your day. Obviously, that has evolved from being a 5 or 10 minute call to, now we're spending 45 minutes to an hour every single morning through the week with you guys. And I want it to be beneficial, and I want it to be something that you make a part of your day, and a lot of you do. And so part of this is, when we talk about schedule, when you talk about juggling a busier schedule, how do you get control of your busier schedule? How do you get control of all the things that are coming here in the next 2 weeks, 4 weeks, 3 weeks? How do you control, like a pack of wild dogs running out of the bedroom? How do you control all the things that are going to happen here in the next little bit, when the kids start playing ball, and when football starts, when all the fall things start? How do you get control over that? And part of this book is creating a morning so that your morning directs your day. And y'all, that's not new news, right? Welcome to Exit Realty Lake Country, y'all that haven't been here, you haven't been paying attention. We've been talking about a morning routine since how long, Michelle? Since you've been here? Having a morning routine, having your morning set on a plan, on a schedule, getting your first hour done, getting your first hour completed so that directs the rest of your day is essential. We make time for the things we find important, right? You're going to make time for the things you find important. And sometimes that has a negative connotation. It depends on who tells you that. And then sometimes it's a very positive thing. Okay. And it's true, Carrie. We make time for the things that are important. My theory that I have created over the years, and my supposition is this: if you get up by yourself before anybody gets up, and you have time to drink a bottle of water, you have time to say a prayer, to have a motivation, to do a morning mantra, to do a daily devotional, you have time to do 25 push-ups or 25 sit-ups, you have time to journal a little bit or read 15 or 20 pages in a book. If you can get that done within a first hour and then get on this call at 6:30 Eastern, and it's hard for our folks in Tennessee, that means we're getting up at, this call's at 5:30 Central. So that means I'm getting up at 4:30 in the morning to do that hour routine before I get here. Because what I don't want to do, what you don't want to do, is go into your day empty. What I don't want to do is come into this call empty. I want to make sure that I've got something in the tank where I need some divine inspiration, which happens more times than not. Some divine inspiration to be able to speak, to you guys so that you get something valuable out of this call, because I don't want you to spend an hour of your life listening to me or listening to me and Christy or listening to Christy and us dribble on about something that's not helping you at all. So I want to make sure that you're getting something out of this, but I digress. That first hour that you get up, that first hour that you get something that you're up and awake and doing things, you've got to take care of you. Because if you don't schedule your day, if you don't plan your day, guess what your day does? Your day runs you. And how many of you have experienced that? How many of you experience on a pretty regular basis, again, that habitual thing that we do after being 35 and most of our life running on a habitual pattern? How many of your days run you? I know sometimes my days run me, and I look up, I watch the sunrise, and then I watch the sunset, and I look back at what I did, and I can't figure it out. I don't know. There's not much of anything that I've accomplished. So those days do happen. But I'm telling you right now, if you look at, and that's what this book's about. That's what the Miracle Morning's about. If you go read any successful person's biography and you look at some of the important things that they've done to help them get the level of success that they've achieved, help them get to where they've gotten, I promise you, their morning routine, what they do in the morning, is super, super important to what they do during the day. Super, super important. So I want you to write this down. The decisions you make today are going to direct your tomorrows. The decisions you make today will direct your tomorrows, which is this business. I talk about it all the time. Little things done consistently over time make big impacts. The decisions that you make today direct your tomorrows. So what you do or don't do today is going to affect you tomorrow. What you do or don't do today in your business is going to affect your paycheck 30 days from now, is going to affect your paycheck 60 days from now. What you do or don't do consistently is going to show up in the results that you find. So for Teal, motivation, man, that's a super, super big word for us, because we've got to stay plugged in. We've got to stay in the game. We got to stay in this mode, right? Good morning, Brooke. But so here's what I'm telling you. It's hard to be motivated on an island. It's hard to be motivated when you're walking by yourself. It's so much easier. Even Navy SEALs use a swim buddy. And those guys are some of the most motivated, dedicated, and focused people on the planet. And those dudes have a swim buddy. Those dudes have somebody beside them that pushes them, that walks with them, that runs with them, that shoots with them, that goes in a building with them. They have a swim buddy. When I was a police officer, I was super, super motivated to be strong and good at what I did and dedicated to my craft. And I had a dude that pushed me. So Teal, here's what I'm gonna say to you, all of you, stay plugged into what we're doing. Stay plugged into what Exit Realty Lake Country is doing. Stay plugged into our meetings. Stay plugged into our calls. Stay plugged into the events that we plan. Stay plugged into what we do. Victims love entertainment. Victors love education. Victims love entertainment. Victors love education. Become a victor. Generate a love for education. Because part of education, guys, remember when we went to school? Remember when you went to school? Remember when you got your real estate license? You had to learn something you didn't know. And then you had to be tested on it. And some of us had to be tested on it more than once or twice because some of us didn't get it the first 2 or 3 times. We didn't assimilate all that information. We didn't put all that information in our souls and our spirits and weren't able to apply that because it's the application of knowledge that's the key. Having the knowledge is fantastic, but applying the knowledge is the important piece of that. So all of you, as we get going, I want you to think about this. Victims love entertainment. Victims love to be entertained. All the people who complain about not having enough, all the people who complain about them not being good enough, all the people who like to bitch and moan about the way their life has turned out, or bitch and moan because they don't have enough, or bitch and moan because this is wrong or that is wrong. I promise you, if you look at their life, they do a whole lot more TikTok watching than they do reading books. If you watch or listen to those people who bitch and moan about their life, they complain about their circumstances, they're a victim of everything that comes down the pike. I promise you, they're paying a lot more attention to somebody else's life on Facebook than they are to their life on an every single day basis. There is so much power in that statement. Victims love to be entertained. Victors love to be educated. Victors, champions, accept a challenge. I promise you, you tell me I can't do something and I'm going to go do it. And sometimes I do it out of ego, and sometimes I do it out of spite, and sometimes I do it because it fulfills some manly ego thing in my spirit. But then there's a piece of me that I have grown to understand that if I have enough time and you give me enough time, because I promise you I've got the energy, I can figure it out. I can do it. I can accomplish it. And I'm going to come back and tell you, see what I did? Now, ego is not the best motivation to get something like that done. But I'm going to take the time to figure it out. Champions, victors, love education. They love overcoming a challenge. They love getting smarter. They love learning new things. And that's what I'm going to challenge you guys to do. Don't be a product of mediocrity. Don't be a product of your habitual behaviors. Don't go through your days without a purpose. Don't go through your days without a direction. Don't go through your days just looking for some mindless entertainment, looking for some outside influence to give you some value, because at the end of the day, that's all fleeting. All that influence that comes from the outside, all that stuff's fleeting. That's why Christy calls Facebook vague book. People put just enough stuff on there to make their life look fantastic. Anna Davis speaking some embrace the suck stuff right there. Having a growth mindset versus a fixed mindset. Exactly. Being stuck in a pattern, or understanding that every single day is an opportunity for you to grow and expand and to get better and to do more and to be more. Being stuck in a box of this is the way it's always been done. This is the way I've always done it. This is the way I've always seen it done. This is the way I've always heard it done. This is the way it has to be done. I can't get past X. Fixed. fixed mindset. Or give me a challenge. Show me something new and watch me go do it. Show me something new and watch me go do it. Why do you think it's so much easier for a child to learn a different language than it is for an adult? Somebody tell me in the comments, tell me what's the scientific reason? Well, not science. Why do you think it's easier for a kid to learn a second education, a less than 10-year-old, less than 11, 12-year-old to learn a second education than it is for an adult? Why is it easier? All you smart people on this call. Come on, y'all type faster than that. Why is it easier for a child to learn a second education than it is for an adult? Why is it easier? I wish I had Jeopardy music. I'd play Jeopardy music. I need to tape it on and have it a little beep, beep. Come on. Think. We old people are set in our ways. It's a good way to describe that. Good way to describe that. A child has no excuses. That our egos get in the way. Because kids love to learn. They have a yearning to learn, right, Teal? A kid sees opportunity. A kid has their whole world out in front of them. A kid still dreams. A kid still imagines. Their brains are still fertile grounds for opportunity. They wake up every day looking at a day like a pirate on the sea. They're just like, kids are like, man, what can I get into today? What can I do today? I'm gonna go run in the mud. I'm gonna put a firecracker in the cat's butt. I'm gonna go do something dumb over here. I'm gonna do something fantastic. Kids look at every single day differently. Every single day is a new day for them. It's just like they wake up with this wide-eyed excitement about what's going to come today. So when you tell a kid go learn a new language, they're like, no problem. I can do that. Their minds are so wide open. That's a growth mindset. Whereas adults, we're fixed in our ways. I don't want to learn anything else. I don't want to read a book. And I'm not going to pick at you, kind of picking at you a little bit. But we've made reading books easier. Now we don't have to read a book. Now we just get to listen to a book. And you hear a lot of, and if you like audiobooks, that's your deal. I am picking a little bit. But there's power in the written word. There's power in spoken word. But the problem is, most of us, when we listen to an audiobook, we're driving down the road. We're doing something else that's distracting us from actually spending time, focused concentration. You can't highlight words in an audiobook. You have to rewind and try to find it, right? I've listened to audiobooks, and I'm just going to tell you, for me personally, it's just not the same. It's just not the same listening to an audiobook. Lynn Grizzle, they believe they're a superhero. That's exactly right. Kids wake up in the morning believing they're Superman. Hell, Jagger, we got him a Spider-Man outfit a year ago, 2 years ago, and he'd wake up every single day and put it on. We'd be in Edenton in the summer, and every single day he'd wake up, put his Spider-Man. He blew the bottoms out of him because he put his Spider-Man outfit on and he ran outside. Kids believe they're superheroes. Sometimes they think they can jump off of stuff. That's so you got to rein them in a little bit. You know, you got to let them know the gravity, that sudden stop at the end of the gravity, at the end of the jump, really, really hurts. So don't do that. But you're right. Kids have unlimited possibilities. What if you woke up every single morning, spent an hour every single morning with yourself, and when you got finished with that hour with yourself, you had unlimited possibilities? What if every single morning after you got out of that hour and you got on this call or you started your day, you believed you had unlimited possibilities? Because guess what? You do. Guess what? You do. Just because you're married, just because you're 40, just because you're bald, just because you're skinny, just because you don't run as fast as you didn't used to run, doesn't mean you don't have unlimited possibilities. The only thing you're limited by is the breadth and depth of your understanding about yourself. It's not the market conditions. It's not how many times Aaron and Christy show up at the office. It's not how far away you live from the office. It's not if you're at Exit or if you're at Rebacks or if you're at Coldwell Banker or if you go off and become a broker and do your own thing. It's not because you're white or black or purple or green. None of that matters. None of that external stuff matters. The driving force behind you living a life full of possibilities and you living a life full of stagnation and mediocrity is you. It's me. It's me. If I want to live a life of mediocrity, then I just go mediocre. I just go be mediocre every day. I just wake up at 9, wake up at 8, go through my day, do a couple of things here, do a couple of things there. Don't challenge myself. Don't read a book. Just do my thing. I can live a great life and not do a thing. I can have a fantastic life and never push myself. Got a great wife, great kids, great house. I eat every single day. I'm not, I'm not grossly overweight. I'm not grossly underweight. My beard could be darker. My hair could be thicker. It's just the way it is. Outside of that, live a pretty decent life. I could be mediocre as heck and walk through this life and never challenge myself. Live in habitual mediocrity. I could do that. You could do that. Super, super easy. But you're not up at 6:30 in the morning on a call with me. You're not at Exit Realty Lake Country because you want to be mediocre. You're not. You're not at this company because you want to be mediocre. You didn't get in the real estate business because you wanted to be mediocre. You got your real estate license and joined this company because you wanted to do something. You wanted to have some control over your destiny, over your family's legacy, over the things that you do, over the things that you provide. You wanted to have some control over that. You wanted to be able to influence that and do something for your family, do something for yourself. So why not do it full bore? Why not do it full speed? Why not do it with everything that you've got? Because at the end of the day, the only person you let down when you don't give it everything that you have is you. That's the deal. You got to look yourself in the mirror. I put a sign in my kid's bathroom, and in the kid's bathroom in Tennessee, there's a sign on the wall that says, I'm paraphrasing, I don't remember what it says, but the only person that you got to beat is you. The only person you got to beat today is you. Your competition's you. Not anybody else. Your competition is you. Your competition is that little voice on the side on your shoulder that tells you that everything's wrong, that the sky's too blue, the sky's too gray. Exit's not right. Exit's fantastic. Remax is better. Remax sucks. It's this little voice on the side on your shoulder that says all these things. Your battle, your challenge, your deal, your race is with you. You got to beat you first. Michelle said a second ago when I asked her that question, she said, we let our egos get in the way. You let your egos stop you. You let your egos stop you. Gary said, I always say to my kids, life is UVU. That's true. You are your challenge. My challenge this morning is beating me. The first challenge this morning, my alarm goes off at 5:15. Instead of 5 o'clock, I set it for 5:15 because I was feeling bad for myself last night because we didn't go to bed till like 10 after 12. I drove in from Tennessee yesterday, get in bed at 10 after 12. So then I start feeling sorry for myself and I need this certain amount of time to sleep. So instead of setting my alarm for 5, I set it for 5:15. My first reaction to the alarm set at 5:15 was to hit snooze. Okay. Instead of getting up, I hit snooze. I didn't beat myself this morning. I lost the first thing I did this morning. The first opportunity for me to win, the first opportunity for me to beat me, I lost. First one. Now I got up at the second alarm at 5:15. Or 5:25-ish, whenever it got 5:24-ish, when it went off again, I went ahead and got up. Got up, did a motivation or did a meditation, I won that one. Okay. I won that challenge, but I lost the first challenge of the day. Again, that's part of this fantastic book is the first challenge of the day. Are you going to win? Are you going to hit snooze? Are you going to hit off? Or are you going to get up and go? Are you going to create an hour for your morning before anybody else gets up? Or are you going to make excuses because you can't get enough sleep, because you're too tired? And I'm just going to tell you, I hate getting up early. Hate getting up early. And in Tennessee, starting on August the 8th, I got to start getting up at 4:30 in the morning. I'm going to tell you right now, that blows. And it's really hard. But I have got to beat me first. I can't expect Exit Realty Lake Country to be number one in market share and beat every other company in our markets. I can't expect us, me and Christy, we drive this boat, drive this train, drive this bus to the top of that mountain to be number one market share. I can't get that without beating me every single day. You can't get the thing, that desire, that one big dream, two big dreams, those big things that I've been asking you to identify, those big things that I've been asking you to focus on. Carrie's, house with acreage and her lake house. You can't go get those things, those big things, those big dreams, those big desires. You can't go get those things unless you're dedicated to beating you every single day. Morning, Anthony. You can't get them. Like attracts like. If you're mediocre, you attract mediocre. If you're a champion, you attract champions. If you're victorious every day, you attract people to your life. You attract situations to your experience that are going to enhance that victory mindset. Man, I used to think, it's so crazy because I used to think all the time, why does this crap happen to me? Why does this happen to me? Why do all these bad things just pile up? Why do all these bad things just pile up? Y'all, I was so super negative, living in a negative headspace, a negative heart space. I was in such a bad spot in my life that there was no other way for everything I hear to respond other than to give me exactly what I was thinking about. Good morning, Millie. There's no other way. The universe doesn't give you what you can't handle. And if all you're thinking about is woe is me, it's so bad, it's so awful, this is so terrible, guess what? You go outside and the tire's flat. You go outside and the car won't start. You drive down the road and somebody hits you in the rear end. I'm telling you, I fight this with one of my kids constantly. She is like Eeyore on Winnie the Pooh. Y'all remember Winnie the Pooh? Some of y'all that are old enough to remember Winnie the Pooh. And Eeyore was the I was gonna say the ass, but the donkey that walks around with his like droopy face and droopy eyes, and he's just so sad all the time. And everything bad happens to Eeyore, and he wonders all these. I'm telling you, I got a kid who's Eeyore, and I'm like, you have got to do something different. You've got to change this channel. Write down some gratitude. Look out, go outside and thank God that the sun came up. You gotta do something to get you out of this Eeyore mode, because guess what? The longer you stay in Eeyore mode, the universe and everything around you, you see exactly what you see. You see exactly what you see. And the more you see it in here, the more you're going to see it out there. And the more you see it right here, the more you're going to see it right there. So that's why I want to encourage you guys. You've got to get this morning routine. You've got to start your days. I'm so excited. I literally wish I could read this book today and finish this book today, but I just don't have time, because the first 55 pages, remember, the first 55 pages have been unbelievable. Unbelievable. So I'm going to, and I've started to highlight some stuff in it because it's just so good. What you're doing today directs your tomorrows. your decision today directs your tomorrow. Your decision to do something, your decision to do nothing. Your decision to make the phone call, your decision to knock on the door. Your decision to open up your boomtown, your decision to not open your boomtown. Your decision to to have lunch with a Dirty Dozen person, or your decision to not do it. Your decisions today direct your tomorrows. Your decision to eat a hamburger or your decision to eat a salad. Your decision to exercise or your decision to sit on the couch. Great comment, Carrie. Carrie said there are tons of studies that show people diagnosed with terminal diseases who have identical diagnoses but different outlooks. I mean, people with cancer happens all the time. You have one person with cancer who gets cancer and decides, I'm done for. This is the worst thing that's ever happened to me. I'm going to perish. You have other people with cancer who say, this ain't going to beat me. Not going to beat me. I'm going to go. I mean, it's the story of the Navy SEAL and Embrace the Suck, Anna, that the guy who gets shot with AK rounds, super close, gets shot 14, 15, 16 times, gets his face shot off, his arms hanging by a thread, and the dude doesn't die. I remember this in the police academy. This is one of the first things in the police academy when I started recognizing mindset and the difference that your attitude and your mindset creates your reality. They were showing bad guys. I'll never forget these videos. And they would show us these videos where police officers and bad guys get in shootouts. And bad guys who are dedicated to getting away, they're dedicated to living another day, would get shot by police officers and keep on fighting. They would get shot by police officers and they would look down and they'd go, huh, and they'd keep on fighting. They get shot, bullets would go through their body and they would look at it and they'd keep on fighting. And then police officers who had on TV, they live different lives. They most of these police officers who get on police departments, they live a different life than a lot of these guys who choose to live a life of crime. And a police officer gets shot in the finger and they're laying down screaming, thinking they're going to die. I'll never forget that. And the whole point of that was you only die when your brain shuts down and you lose all your blood. So if you get shot, stay in the fight. If you get stabbed, stay in the fight. Stay in the fight. You're not done until your body quits working. And until your body quits working, stay in the damn fight. Your attitude is everything. Lynn, you're exactly right. Your attitude is everything. And if you will stay in the fight, if every single day you will start your day with yourself, and your mantra, your thing that day when you get done is I'm beating this day. I'm accepting every challenge that comes because what I do today or what I don't do today affects my tomorrow. And all of you with kids and all of you have little bitty eyes and little bitty ears who don't miss anything that you do. All of you moms who have daughters, all you dads who have sons, all you parents who have kids that are watching you, they will watch you do this and they will do the exact same thing. They will begin to model, kids model parents' behavior. Scientific fact, good, bad, or indifferent. It's a cyclical thing. Kids will always eventually model their parents' behaviors. They always do. So you have the ability, especially with the younger kids, especially all of you with younger kids, less than 14, less than 13, you have a huge opportunity to direct the path and the future of your children. What's the Bible say? Train up a child in the way they should go, and they'll never depart from it. Train up a child in the way they should go, and they'll never depart from it. They're watching you. All of you are leaders. There's 11 of you on this call. We've had 13 or 14 this morning, but all of you on this call, the ones that are going to watch this later. Hey, good morning, Angel. They're going to watch this later. You are being watched. Even if you don't think you are, you are. I promise you, agents at Exit Realty Lake Country are being watched by other agents. You watch other people, you watch what they do, you watch what their progress is, you watch what that, and some of y'all get enthralled with, they're like, oh my God, they closed a big house. Oh my God, they closed a big house. I wonder what's going on over there that's not going on over here. And that's what your ego starts to tell you. I wonder what they're getting that we're not getting. Because obviously, if they're doing that and I'm not doing that, there must be some difference. When the only difference is you. The only difference is me. You know what the difference is between Exit Realty Lake Country and us being exactly where we need to be, and another company being someplace where I just propose or supposed level I'd like to be? It's us. It's me. It's us being able to do the things that need to be done to direct our paths. We've grown a ton in the last 3 years. And Mario Andretti, if y'all know who Mario Andretti is, this quote, I've been seeing this quote a lot lately. And Mario Andretti had a famous quote. You know, he was an F1 driver, won a bunch of championships. If you ever know, F1's the open wheel car that they do like 200 something miles an hour. And Mario Andretti's quote is, his quote says, if it doesn't scare you, you're not going fast enough. So Mario Andretti pushed himself so hard that the car would start to break loose. He would push that car to the very edge of when the friction would give out, and the speed and the velocity and the momentum that he created started to make his tires slide, and he would reel it back in just a little bit. But he would go, because you could drive an F1 car, all of you have the ability to go drive an F1 car. These cars with the potential to do 250, 260 miles an hour, every one of you on this call could drive one of those. You could. Y'all could drive them 60 miles an hour around the track, 60 miles an hour, 80 miles an hour around that track. Just zoom. Maybe look more like that, right? All of you had that ability. Very few of us have the ability to drive that car to its full potential, like a Mario Andretti. Our lives are much the same way. If it doesn't scare you, if you're not trying to break the tires loose, if you're not out there on the edge of that thing, if you're not walking out to the fiery edge of the possibilities, if you're not walking to where the light and the dark meets and looking over the edge, you're not living. You're not pushing. You're not expanding. You're driving 60 miles an hour around Indianapolis Motor Speedway in an F1 car. And it'd be fun. It'd be exciting for a minute. That reminds me. So one time we were in Florida and Jagger was too small to ride the bigger go-karts. And Zeke was big enough to ride the bigger go-karts. Jagger was too small to ride the bigger go-karts. And so they had like a kids go-kart. No, I knew it in Florida. It was in Pigeon Forge. And they had a kids go-kart track. And I'm like, well, y'all come over here and y'all can ride these together. And Zeke's like, okay, because Zeke kind of did it to appease us, and so Jagger didn't have to ride it by himself. So Zeke got in there together. Y'all, it was driving 60 miles an hour in an F1 car in Indianapolis Motor Speedway. These cars, I promise you, you've got a riding lawnmower in your garage from 1963 that was faster than these go-karts. They get in them, push the gas, and it was like, and they're both looking at us like, what in the hell is this? These go-karts aren't any fun, right? But some of you live your lives that way. You live your lives that way because it's safer. You don't want to get to the edge and break the tires loose. You don't want to get to that fiery edge and feel what it feels like to almost be out of control. You want to put yourself out there where somebody can maybe make fun of you, where somebody may disapprove of what you've done. You don't want to get out there and break your tires loose and meet a lot of new people, because what do you have to offer? You're not smart enough. You're not pretty enough. You don't know enough about the market. Whatever excuses that this little ego dude tells you, you drive 60 miles an hour around this Indianapolis Motor Speedway. And I'm telling you right now, everybody on this call is an F1 driver. Everybody on this call this morning is an F1 driver. You should be out on the edges, pushing those tires, pushing as hard as you can push, trying to break those things loose, trying to figure out how fast you can go. How far can you go? That's what you guys need to be doing. Every one of you on this call. The advantage that you have over other people and other companies is that you have 53, 55, 57 other agents in this company who are going to do it with you. You can find one, or you can find a swim buddy. You can find an accountability partner. You can find somebody that's going to push you. Christy and Aaron are going to push you. Because I promise you, we're pushing ourselves. I promise you, the tires have broken loose a couple times. We have spun a car out in the corner. Sometimes it feels like we're spinning out in the corner right now because we've grown so fast. We've gotten so big and we're trying to catch up with the growth. And there's so many things that we're trying to do with two people that sometimes it doesn't get done. And we're working, Christy and I are working so hard to try to figure out how to reel that in, how to drive this thing. Because I promise you, Mario Andretti has hit the wall. And I promise you, Aaron and Christy have hit a couple of walls. And this car is spun out, and you've hit a wall. You spun it out, and you've hit a wall. But the thing is, get back, get it fixed, go again. Learn something from that. Go again. Because there's an optimal speed that you can drive 500 miles in an F1 car, and every time you go around the corner, the tires squeak a little bit. And every time you go around the corner at 260 miles an hour, you're almost feeling like it's getting out of control, but you reel it back in. That comes with practice. That comes with doing it over and over again. That comes with, in your business, having a morning routine, directing your day every single day, directing what you're going to do every single day, controlling the outcome of your day by sitting and right here and deciding and feeling what this day is going to be. I got a big conversation today with a new client. I've got a big listing presentation today. How many of you, before you go to that listing presentation, you sit by yourself and you visualize how that listing presentation is going to go? You sit by yourself and you think, you close your eyes, you sit back and you think about what's it going to feel like? How good is that yes going to feel? What's it going to look like when they're signing that paperwork? What's it going to feel like when I put my sign in the front yard? How many of you do that? I'm going to encourage you. Start putting that into your mornings. Start putting that into your days. Guys, real estate agents are performers. Real estate agents are performers. We have to get people to know us, like us, and trust us like that. There's a level of performance. I remember Tom Ferry saying this years and years and years ago when I decided I was going to be a listing agent. He said, your listing presentation, when you get finished with your listing presentation, the people across the table should stand up and start clapping. That's fantastic. That's fantastic. Your listing presentation should make people want to stand up and clap. How you do what you do in your business should make people want to stand up and clap. Because the better you are, the more referable you are. The more referable you are, the more money you make. The more money you make, the more things you can do for the people around you. How fantastic would it be if you had $5,000 extra sitting in an account because you've busted your tail, because you've sponsored people in, because you've done all the things you needed to do throughout the year. And when school starts, you have $5,000 sitting in an account that you could go to a school and help people, underprivileged kids, get backpacks, get food, take them shopping, go buy them shoes, go buy them some clothes. How cool would it be for you to be able to do that? Not because it's going to help your business, not because it's going to help what you do from a professional standpoint, but because it's going to help your heart. It's going to people who give the most get the most. People who put out the most get the most in return. People who hoard it, people go back to our fixed mindset and our growth mindset. People who are scared they're going to lose every single dime end up losing every single dime. They die at the end of their existence. They die with the same amount of money that they started with, zero. They die with the same amount of money they started with. I don't care how hard they work. I don't care what they do. I don't care how many billions of dollars they earn. If they hoard it if they keep it for themselves and don't learn how to give and have an outward mindset, a growth mindset, they die with the same amount of money they started with. Zero. Let me read you this. My eyes are getting so bad, y'all. It's unreal. It sucks so bad. I've had this. I highlighted this last night when I read in this book. All that matters on your last day on earth is the potential you've leveraged, the heroism you've demonstrated, and the human lives you've graced. I'm going to read that again. All that matters on your last day on earth is the potential you've leveraged, the heroism you've demonstrated, and the human lives you've graced. It's all that matters. None of the other accomplishments, none of the empires you've built, none of that matters. What matters at the end of it all is, did you realize your potential? Did you figure out your dreams and desires? Did you walk toward your dreams and desires? Did you touch the lives around you? How many times did you slide the tires trying to build something great? How many times were you scared and you overcome those challenges and continue to move forward? How many times did you decide, I'm never going to quit, and I keep going? How many times? How much heroism did you demonstrate? How much potential, how much of you did you leverage? How much potential did you actualize? Coach Bird talks about all the time for y'all monster producers. Potential is nothing more than unactualized energy. Potential is nothing more than a bunch of stored up nothing. It's what you possibly could do if you just go do it. I told y'all, my high school baseball coach hated the word potential because it's just a bunch of stuff that you could be doing that you're not doing. All that matters on your last day on earth is the potential you've leveraged, the heroism you've demonstrated, and the human lives you've graced. Those who give get the most. Those who give get the most. What are you willing to do to create that foundation? What are we looking for? Hadn't seen that. What are you willing to give to get the most? What are you willing to do to set yourself up for success? What are you willing to do to live the best version of you? Are you willing to get up 30 minutes earlier? That's all. Not run a marathon, not lift 500 pounds, not be able to split an atom. Just get up 30 minutes earlier. Are you willing to do that? Are you willing to get up an hour earlier? Are you willing to do your affirmations every single day? Are you willing to read a devotional every single day? Are you willing to have a quiet time every single day? What are you willing to do to actualize your potential? I'm telling y'all, this schedule, this shift, this transition that we're doing right now, getting into school mode, is going to require some dedication. It's going to require some effort. It's going to require you guys to do some things a little differently. And I'm encouraging you, be in the 5 a.m. club. Be in the 5 a.m. club. Spend that time with you. Get yourself some direction. Get yourself some motivation. Find the potential for that day. The decisions you make today are going to affect your tomorrow. Are you going to live a life of mediocrity? Are you going to live your life like everybody else? At the end of the deal, are you going to look back and go, holy crap, I wish I'd have done more. Holy crap, I wish I'd have done this. Holy crap, I wish I'd have done that. Or are you going to go through your life living a life of being a champion? Are you going to live your life being a hero? Are you going to live your life, I can learn a new language. My mind is completely open. It's all up to you. You're going to operate to the breadth and depth of your understanding about yourself. And the only way to do anything different is to get to the edge of that and push. It's to get to those walls and push. It's to get to that ceiling and push. It's getting to those places where the dark and the light meet and taking another step. It's another 12 inches. It's one more phone call. Okay. All of you can do this. I love you. I love you guys so much. We'll see y'all tomorrow in the meeting in Madison, 10:30. I know Michelle's going to have somebody there to bring Chick-fil-A and 7,000 cups and 44 forks and a bunch of stuff we got to throw away. But they're going to bring food, which is super cool. So love y'all. Mean it. Have an awesome day. Make this day fantastic. Do the things today that are going to direct your tomorrows. Okay. Be good. Be great. Be you. Bye, y'all.